Here's the very latest from the CBS 12 Storm Track Weather Center. We are looking at scattered showers and thunderstorms on CBS 12 Storm Track Doppler radar throughout your Sunday. Highs today in the upper 80s to around 90 degrees. Overnight tonight, a few early showers and then clearing, partly cloudy and muggy as we fall back into the middle 70s. From the CBS 12 Storm Track Center, I'm meteorologist Craig Gold for Real Radio.
Real Radio 94.3.
The following views are those of the host and not those of Clear Channel Broadcasting licenses.
Have you gone to the doctor recently because of pain throughout your body for which there seems to be no relief?
What happened? No, he's...
Weight-bearing and the return of normal range of motion without pain is the best-kept secret this man has to deliver. So, get ready to call in and ask all of your painful questions and get the answers you've been looking for. Now, here's today's edition of Dr. Pinozzo's Sports and Medicine Hour.
Good morning, everybody. It's that Sunday. I hope everyone's having a great 4th of July. I guess the rain kind of hurt everybody on Friday. I want to say hello to my producer and man who's responsible for getting the show on the air, Freddie. How you doing, Freddie?
I'm doing good. We have a few technical problems. I can see the camera's out.
Oh,
okay.
It could have been it's raining.
Rains.
Oh, but we're on the air.
No, we're on the air.
Oh, thank God we're on the air. Dr. Pinozzo, how you doing, my friend?
Good.
So if anyone who's out there today and wants to give Dr. Pinozzo a call on the air, it's our hotline is 877-927-6969. And this Sunday we're going to play Challenge the Doctor.
There you go.
If there's any question that you possibly think that you want to ask the doctor, he will answer it and let you know the best way that you could get rid of pain.
Try to challenge me.
Try challenge the doctor. You've been challenged before, and every time you've won, right?
Yep.
So again, that's 877-927-6969. I know a lot of people have been getting mad at me and Freddie because we're not reading all of the emails that we get. So, Doc, you want to take a couple of the ones that we've been missing?
Yeah.
This is a good one. It's, Leslie from California. She says, I am flying in to meet with you in a couple of weeks. My condition is my hip. I've been told I need hip surgery and want to use you as a third opinion. So let's stop right there. Why a third opinion, I want to know. Remember I was saying, let your second opinion be your first.
That's right, yeah.
And you've done work with hips your whole life.
Yeah, we work with hips a lot. Hips are just like shoulders. You see, the problem with the hip and the shoulder and knee is it's not inside the joint that the problem is. It's outside. It's a ligament structure. That's where the pain is. There is no pain on the inside.
Really?
No. Look it up. Challenge me.
Please challenge him, Leslie.
You can't because I've already looked it up. So
now the other thing Leslie wants to know is I want to understand how you can help me without surgery.
Well, because the problem is not inside the joint. The problem is outside the joint. So if you can take that pain away, what's the purpose of the surgery?
Right.
So that's what we do. We take the pain away, get the range of motion to return. Now, the reason the hip doesn't work well is because the ligament structure does not allow the stretchability that you need to go forward. Right. So the hip is going to go forward like that and like that. And if it's painful, it won't do that. So that's what a limp is. So we can diagnose a limp. In fact, I used to do that. In fact, I still do. If I go to the airport, all I do is sit there and watch the limpers and try to diagnose their problem. It's just... but this is the way it is. And so if you can get rid of the pain, you don't need the surgery.
Another thing Leslie wants to know is I'm taking each part because Leslie really wrote like a short story here. But Leslie, that's great. It not only will help you, it'll help all the other people that have the same problem. She wants to know how long will this treatment last?
Well, if it's successful, it lasts forever. Well, you don't need a surgery. You can get the range of motion back without a pain. You're home free.
Well, Doc, I can help Leslie to understand that. You're not going to let Leslie leave the office unless you fix the pain that she came in with.
Well, that's a different kind of thing now. Right. The hip is a little bit different than the lower back because it's larger. So you have to, well, there's all the technical things, but essentially Les is right. You're not allowed to leave the office unless your pain is substantially reduced or gone.
And when the last thing she says, will I be able to walk without pain or a limp? And will this stay with me for years to come? I don't know what she means. In other words, I guess you...
Yeah, well, once you get the range of motion back without a pain, then you're home free. You're not going to have a problem.
And you've done this for how many years have you been doing this? So it seems that every week we have new listeners. How many years have you been doing this?
I don't know. Since 1967, I guess.
Oh, we've got Linda here who could probably figure it out. 1967, Linda.
It's too
How
big
long
a
have you
number
been doing
for
this?
me. I can't figure it out. It's too big a
almost
number.
40 years.
Linda's our computer
no, more
person.
than that. 45.
67?
67.
67, 77, 97, 2007.
Almost 50 years.
Almost 50 years.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, my God. Doc, you don't look a day over 47.
Actually, I'm 100.
God bless you.
Well,
We got to keep this guy going. So again, I know it's still a weekend out there, but anyone that's in the car driving back, you want to give Dr. Pinozzo a call on the hotline. It's 877-927-6969.
Yeah, give us a call. I had a call from a person who asked me about the golf program.
Okay.
Well, I said, well, it's based on the medical.
Uh-huh.
He said, there's nothing wrong with my medical.
It's just a bad golf game.
So why are you looking to get instruction? I mean, people, have a little thought. Think properly.
Right.
The golf swing, especially on the tee, is a medical problem. It's all these bones and muscles and everything have to work together to get that club head down. That's not the art of golf. That's not what the instructors know how to do. They don't. They don't know anything about the anatomy or physiology, which is how you use the anatomy.
So you can always increase your yardage,
You can always increase it, yeah.
even if you don't have a pain, because at least you don't think you don't have a pain.
Yeah, you don't know, well, what you do is accept the pain. That's what people do.
Or you don't stretch it out
They
long
just
enough to get
accept
that pain
it.
going.
Well, I'm getting old now, you know.
I can hit 40 yards and that's it.
Yeah, right. So part 3 would take you 5 strokes.
But so what we would do is figure out, based on the swing, on film, we do this on film, by the way,
Right.
to find out what structures are not working properly. So then we could tell the instructor, the PGA guy, what we could do for this, and then we do it, and they go around, and then they learn better, and their swing comes to normal right on film. So, this is more than just saying, whoever this fellow was, he didn't give me a chance to talk him into it, but, you don't know what the problem is, medically speaking. You can't say my medical is good. You can't say that.
No, of course not.
I can only say that.
I seen you work with professionals at the PGA store on Linton Avenue.
Right.
Hint. Where they went up there and they were driving the ball. And then when you asked them to extend, it says, let's try to get more yardage.
That was
I
the
want you to
pro.
swing.
The pro could do
pros.
that.
Yeah.
And he said, whoa, Doc, that hurt. Whoa, Doc,
Oh, no, I
that
don't hurt
over
until
here.
I swing hard. Yeah, now it hurts.
So he wasn't swinging hard. His technique was good.
Yeah.
He had yardage. But when he swung hard, he went 40 plus.
See, this is the latest concept, Freddie. I mean, this is it on the golf business. I mean, they've been teaching players how to swing the club, have no background of how it actually occurs.
That's it.
And I like them all. I mean, this is not to denigrate them at all. This is all knowledge that is hard to get. And that's the way the human race progresses. You get knowledge here, knowledge there, you put it together, you get this, that. So the golf swing is actually a medical problem, especially on the tee. And after that, you can play golf. Learn how.
So in other words, when you see these golfers that are not going all the way back, that are going 3/4 inch swing, it's not that.
Yeah, they're just eliminating their pain is what they're doing.
Right. They're avoiding.
Yeah, they're avoiding their pain, and so that means that they have less and less of a swing, which is, how do you hit the ball without swinging? You
Right.
don't. So gradually your distance decreases, your accuracy decreases.
Well, I think what we're finding out is a lot of the instructors, I don't know if they fear that
They do.
And the thing is, they would actually make more money because, as we all know, a drive is a drive, but there are other shots that have to be improved.
Well, the art of golf is
That's
after
the art of
that.
golf,
See,
right.
that's where they should shine. And we have to get the PGA organization to mandate an anatomical study.
We're going to do that. I think the season starts again in August, and all the people are coming back down there. And Freddie and I are putting together a massive show out there about
Well, you know,
mid-August.
the funny thing is, golf is a great sport.
Oh, yes.
But baseball is another great sport. And if you have the ability to pitch a fastball in the upper 90s, and then you throw an off-speed pitch in the 70s, you're going to be devastating.
Yeah.
Right.
But the problem is not many arms can throw in upper 90s, or they hurt themselves trying.
Well, they hurt themselves trying, and then they're put on the bench, and then they put those compression things on. The whole thing's a farce. I mean,
Yeah.
you know, especially with the copper in it. People, think.
Well, we found that out. I last week, for a lot of people that might have not been here, we spoke about the show that was talking about. They called it BS, and it was Penn and Teller, and they had doctors, and they said the only thing a copper bracelet does for you is it makes your hand green.
That's true.
Yeah, now there's this new thing I saw on TV. It's the knee thing where they stick copper inside the thing. And
Yeah, it's
supposed to be-
copper in that. It does not get through the skin.
No,
It does you no good at all. It's like a copper bracelet,
Right.
you know. The reason I wanted to study the golf swing is because the golfers were all wearing these copper bracelets, which I do. It's really, you know, not the thing to do.
well, Doc, let me.
Well, before you do that, Doc,
Go
I
ahead.
wanted to clear up something that you said last week. If people are taking yoga and psychologically they feel better, that's fine. If you want to go out there and take all sorts of exercise, that's all fine. What you're saying is the medical problem, to resolve it, it's not going to resolve it. Even if you get a massage and you get more blood in the area, yeah, it's going to feel better,
There's no way massage can do you any good at all.
but it's not going to cure it. And I want you to...
It doesn't do anything.
Well, it makes it feel better. Oh, psychologically it does. Because
Psychologically.
it's been something that's been inbred in us since we were
Well,
children.
that's not what I hear. I hear they get worse when they have a really vigorous massage. Massage should be sensitive, should be sensual, not to treat a pain. They're not equipped to treat a source of pain at all.
Okay.
So why they
I'll
do
go
it,
with
I
that.
have no idea.
Well, when I used to
Go ahead.
pitch, they used to wrap my shoulder in ice and compression
Yeah. Right.
to relieve the ache, because your whole body aches when you pitch and you're throwing hard. And then when they took it off, they used to put heat, and then the ice came back with more compression.
Well, what we do today is we'd examine it, find out where the ligament stretch was, the injury,
Right.
put a shot in it, and you'd never have to go through all that. You get
But
better
this is-
overnight. I mean,
right,
it's
but this
just
is the
miraculous.
change. This is where
Yeah.
all week I was so, oh, I can't believe he said that.
Yeah.
Why did he say that about yoga? If you're taking yoga, continue to take yoga. It's not going to help you. It's not going to relieve the area. It might even cause more damage, yes?
Well, there's all kinds of yoga now. There's the ones that are not too stressful on your body. Those you can do. More meditation, less stretch. And then there's the kind that the people, when they come in my office, it's a big source of patients for me, by the way, you know, pain. And they get it from yoga.
Right.
Oh yeah. No, how about, what do you think
And,
about
there's some
naked
that
yoga?
are really so stressful, you don't even believe they're asking people to do those. You're really not designed to do some of those things, and that's the point. If it's too vigorous and you get hurt there, don't do it.
Right. You're just going to chance of getting yourself in more pain.
Yeah.
And it's not going to relieve if you have a pain and ache. I mean, my shoulder, if I go to yoga, it's not going to get better.
No.
It will not. No.
And it probably hurt more than the Dickens.
Yeah. So pain is a professional thing. You don't dismiss it so lightly as having all these technicians out there telling you what to do.
Right.
You know, the yoga guy. What does he know about anatomy? Did he go to medical school? No. They're just on the fringe.
They
of-
take a
of
I
the-
think a 6-month course. A
Well,
massage.
not in a medical school, so
No,
they don't
no,
know
no.
that, the anatomy.
No, right.
But you have to know that. That's what you have to know. If you're going to treat the body, you better know how it works. Don't you think?
I agree. And it's all these doctors that I've been to, I mean, I've played football, I've pitched, all the injuries that I've been through, or that my kids have, all we did was send them to doctors that said, put them on the bench.
But they were all
Compression.
orthopedic surgeons.
That's right.
Orthopedic surgeons do what mainly,
Operate.
Freddie?
Operate.
Operate. That's
And they
what
operate
they do.
from the MRIs.
And they do it well.
Yeah.
But the treatment between the therapist, the physical therapist, and the surgery is where the musculoskeletal doctor comes in, which is what I do. And so we have the techniques to treat these things without surgery in most cases. So if we recommend surgery, then it should be done because the other options are used already. But until then, all this pain, all this sitting, all this compression. I mean, I laugh. I sit there and I laugh at these people.
It doesn't get any better.
What the hell are they doing? I mean, they don't know any better.
It doesn't get any better.
But it's a big sales job, too. Tommy Copper, I mean, they're selling a lot of that. Yeah. I think, but I have no idea.
Well, I wore it once.
Did you? What happened? You had a green hand?
Green.
Yeah.
You turned green?
My wrist turned green. It took me 2 weeks to get it out. I thought I was dying of blood poison.
It's
That's
funny.
What that is.
and you also see, and you go into the malls now, and they have these bracelets for pain, these little magnets for pain. I'm trying to understand, and they had this actually on TV, and what they did was they took a guy at a mall in New York, and they put him a medical thing on, and he looked like a doctor, and he said, whoever has pain, let me show what magnetic therapy does. Well, they didn't have a magnet. It was made out of cardboard, and it should look like a magnet. They put it next to the way he says, "Oh, I'm starting to feel it." So what these guys said, certain people put in their brain that this is going to work.
Psychologically.
Yes, exactly, psychologically. And then he got a big magnet that was made out of styrofoam, and they painted it. Oh yeah, I feel so much better. And what they're doing is they're showing it. This doesn't work. There is no medical evidence, they said, that any of this stuff works. Nothing works.
No,
like that.
no.
You have to go to a medical doctor.
If you know what causes a pain, I'll even go further than that. Deeper than what you're talking about. Yeah. If you know what causes a pain, you absolutely know none of that's going to help.
Exactly.
Massage doesn't help because they don't know where the pain is. Physical therapy doesn't help. They don't know where the pain is. Chiropractic doesn't help. They don't know where the pain is. That's why you have failures in treatment. That's why there's so much surgery yet. So why aren't these people taking care of all the pain so there's no surgery?
That's what this show, basically, folks, that's what this show is about.
That's why we're here, because I actually know what causes a pain, and if you want to know, if you want to get examined, I'll tell you what it is.
There's no return business doing it your way.
Yeah, that's
the
problem.
There is. No, that's exactly not true.
Oh, good.
That's what happened.
People want to, they'll tell their friends to come and see me, and so...
No. I'm saying the patient doesn't have to come back.
He doesn't have to go back. No, that's a different story. Yeah, they don't have to go back.
We have a migraine guy that for 28 years, when he got 2 shots, he doesn't come back anymore.
Well, I got somebody that who asked me not to say his name today.
That's fine. We don't want to get sued.
And he went, he helped a girl move furniture, and Linda knows who it is.
Right.
And he hurt his back. And this has been going on for 5 days now. Mm-hmm. And now he's getting the migraines. And I said, "You seen Dr. Pinozo's office?" "No, I'm not going to go in there. He's going to put a needle on my spine." I said, "You don't know that. You don't know where it is."
Everyone's a doctor. They're already saying what he's going to do, and that's not true.
But this is my point.
Right. Well, what the difference does it make? I'm not a plumber. I know how to do things. I mean, he's not coming in there because I do plumbing work. I do medical work.
He says he may miss, and I will never walk again. People just have the wildest ideas.
They have to straighten up their thinking.
Exactly.
They have to sit down and say, what's logical thinking about these things, and stop being so emotional. I mean, it's just...
Can you imagine you're going to face surgery? You're going to be out for 6 months.
Oh, that's so much worse.
Risk of infection or even dying on the table.
Oh, man.
And you're going to tell me that's more logical than going in and getting an opinion and getting repaired. Freddie, it just doesn't make any sense.
Him and I know a guy, I'm not going to mention the person's name, who when he was working with Dr. Pinozo, he was getting so much relief, and it was getting better because I saw the x-rays. So someone talked him into going for an MRI. And I said, Dr. Pinozo, I'm going to take it one step at a time. What does an MRI do? And everyone said, I went for an MRI and it showed that I have bad hips. What does an MRI do for people that are just tuning in?
Well, it's somebody's opinion on what they're seeing on the x-ray. But that doesn't have any direct effect on what the diagnosis is.
Okay.
See, they'll write things down, but that doesn't mean that's what's causing the pain, see? You have to be able to examine for that pain.
Okay.
Pain pattern, range of motion, we don't even order MRIs anymore.
Okay.
And the reason is they're not accurate.
Okay.
We have a more accurate system so that we don't use them. But, people come in my office, and the first thing they do is they push an MRI in my face. I said, well, do the paperwork first so we know who you are. You know?
That's true. Who's MRI is
A
it?
stranger was, here's my MRI.
Who's John?
So then I said, look, we look at the MRI last.
Right.
Well, I'll examine you, determine what I need as your diagnosis. Then we'll look and see what they wrote. That's the way it works.
Now, a lot of people, where did you went to school where? I mean, I know we've repeated this.
Ohio State School of Medicine.
And you're a regular medical doctor?
Oh, yeah.
And you were an intern and you did all that studying like every other doctor?
Absolutely.
Okay, so you're not, quote, what I call one step above a massage therapist. You're not that.
No, I'm the real deal.
So you're the real deal. And, I always tell people when I said that everyone here has gone to a dentist, right?
Right.
Remember that shot that they give you with Novocaine?
Oh, my God.
Is that the worst shot you've ever gotten in your life?
Actually, I loved that shot.
Why?
Because I knew that when he was going to drill in my mouth, it hurt like the Dickens.
Well,
I said, give me that pain and then I'll be numbed out.
Did you know where all the pain is when they drill?
Where?
It's the heat
Yes.
of the drill
Yes.
that causes the pain.
I never
You
knew
can
that.
and you smell the burn.
Oh, yeah, I never knew that. That's where. Oh,
That's
I never
where
knew
it is,
that.
yeah.
Thank you,
And the
because I
reason-
have to go get a tooth done.
And the reason the dentist wears a mask is not to protect you, but to protect him.
No, he doesn't want. No, he doesn't want to see. He doesn't want anyone to recognize him. That's the guy that hurt my mouth.
Well, now they have the whole shield. They
Yeah.
protect their whole
Yeah,
head.
that's to protect the dentist. And, people get confused about that. They think they're getting protected. That is not true. The dentist is the one that's good. And when I wear a mask, to protect myself from the patient.
Yeah.
Because you see so many of them, it's the right thing to do.
No, I agree.
Hey, Doc, what about when they say, let's perform these 20 tests so that we can rule out things that we not sure what it is? I love that line.
Yeah.
I got to pay you $20,000
Yeah,
to
to
find
see
out what
20
it
tests.
isn't.
Oh, it's that problem. Oh, okay. Yeah.
No, it's
No,
like you walk in and they tell you, you're sick. I just pay you $1,000 to say, you're sick.
You knew you were sick when you walked in, right?
Yeah, exactly.
The musculoskeletal physician will be able to diagnose things much better than the surgeon because their focus is no infections and a decent job that they do. And they do it.
Hold that thought, Doc. We got to take a break. We'll be back in probably about 2 minutes. We got more exciting stuff. Thank you so much for listening. We'll be right back.
Have you ever had a business idea that you thought would be a great solution to tough challenges in today's world but have no idea of how to get started? You don't want to waste investment money on ideas that just don't work. Introducing Health and Wealth Seminars, a sophisticated advertising agency with over 40 years in the ad business. What makes Health and Wealth different from other agencies is that they fit your product into the public's need. They help put together the strategy of your business before you commit thousands of dollars just to find out that those ideas don't work. Health and Wealth Seminars carries advertising contracts, radio and television contracts, and even a production service contract that will cover all of your business needs. Call today, 954-303-9563, and let Health and Wealth Seminars carry your business to the next level. The number is 954-303-9563. And remember that what happens when you don't advertise is nothing. 954-303-9563 is the number you need to get your business started in the right direction. You're listening to Dr. Pinozzo's Sports and Medicine Hour with Dr. Anthony Pinozzo. If you have constant pain and want to talk about how to get rid of it without surgery or medication, or simply want a second opinion, call Dr. Pinozzo now at 1-877-927-6969 to get your pain issues resolved. And now, more of Dr. Pinozzo's Sports and Medicine Hour.
Okay, folks, if you're driving back from if you're driving back from your vacation, you could always call Dr. Pinozzo from your car, 877-927-6969. Because I'm saying that for a reason, Doc. I'm saying that because a lot of these people did things that they're not supposed to do. Like, the weekend athlete is, oh, God, my lower back. Oh, we'll go talk to lower back. But first, I got to get some more questions. Here's a mom from West Palm Beach. I have 4 children I watch every day. My body hurts from keeping up with them, and the main area is my legs. I have heard your program before, and I want to see you, but don't want to go through a lot of painful procedures. Okay, let's stop right there. There's no painful procedures as far as I know, and I've been with you now for quite a long time.
Well, what she's talking about is not anything I do.
Right.
We do just treatment only.
Right.
The diagnosis is made by the clinical exam, the special films we do, and the history.
Right.
Now, this lady has pain in the legs.
Mm-hmm.
So we would analyze where that pain is, examine for it, and then offer her treatment for it. And usually it's annular. In other words, the annulus is a ligament, will
Right.
give you a referred pain. It's not enough to be a serious problem, but it's enough to irritate you. Now, we can relieve that.
Right.
We actually turn the bone structure by when we treat. And
So
you-
amazing.
And you can follow that, and you have.
Yes, I have.
Both
I've
of you,
watched-
Freddie.
I
from beginning to
actually,
end.
that's what you did for
Yeah,
me.
you actually saw that.
Yeah.
And people say, how do you do that? Well, I know how to do it. I know where the scar tissue is.
I mean, I know you did that for
This
Freddie.
is people don't get it. This is a high level. This is the highest service you can get.
That's amazing.
If you had $1 billion in your pocket, you could not buy this in Europe.
Oh, I know that. You're the only one
You
that does
couldn't-
that.
You couldn't do it. I
Well,
mean,
the only
it's
two,
not
you and your
available.
son.
Yeah.
I mean, people, I always say to people,
And he-
why live with pain?
Yeah, and he's coming up too, and he works in Phoenix, by the way. Same name.
I hope so.
Anyway, anybody out there can get the service out there.
Well, give your son some of that because, as you know, we stream all over the country. So
Yeah,
if they're in the
it's-
Arizona
Does
or
he
the
know
Las
it?
Vegas area,
Do you know his number?
of course.
62, of course.
he does.
623-776-8686.
And that's Dr. Paul Pinozzo. So anyone that's on in the West Coast area, Phoenix or California, he was trained by the best. Now she also wants to know after I have your procedure, what do I do when I come home? I would imagine she'd be walking.
Nothing.
Exactly.
No, she doesn't have to go to bed or anything like that?
No, absolutely, you're cured. No, we have people who could not walk come in my office, and the next day they played 18 holes of golf. I mean, the next day.
Oh, I know.
How do I know this? Because they tell me.
Yeah. Well, since you hit a golf thing, let's go here. Richard from Boynton Beach, who's right around the corner. So if you're around the corner, you could always go to 1624 Military Trail and see Doc. If you're really in pain, he will take you. Here's what he said, Doc. I've been playing golf for 15 years. Over the years, my swing has become more accurate, but my distance has decreased. So I have to be better on my short game. Can you increase my distance even though my age and body have changed? My lower back is the area that hurts, which is all golfers. What do you think?
Yeah, age has nothing to do with the
Right.
pain. Absolutely nothing.
There's nothing with
Everybody
the pain.
has the same pain,
Yeah.
no matter what your age is. You're all made the same.
Right.
I mean, your body did not reconstruct itself at age 50. It's the same one you had at 20. Yeah, it's the same. It's the same thing, and that's the way we look at it. So age has nothing to do with pain whatsoever.
Well, so here's Jack from Miami said, my golf swing has never had much success in distance. I love the game, but I can't compete with my friends because they hit balls longer. I have thought that the problem may be the pain I have when I drive the ball in my back and shoulders.
How about that?
Gee, why don't you? Let me tell you, this Jack does listen to your show. All right, so okay, let's see.
Maybe it's true.
Yeah, well, maybe that's perhaps I should come and see you. I want to be competitive. Is my back and shoulder pain an area you work on for most golfers?
Yeah, what we do, this is very interesting, should be interesting to this fella.
Go ahead.
This is as scientific as you can get. We take a history, then we have them swing the ball, or swing the club on film. Mm-hmm. Now, when you do that, you have to point out where the pain is.
Right.
So they do that. They're the only one who knows. And they point out where that pain is during the swing. Okay, now, my expertise comes into play. We treat that
Right.
source of pain. And in 10 minutes after treatment, put them right back on the film again and redo it, and that pain will not be there.
We saw that.
And we
saw
see that every day.
They go to Pinozzo.tv and see that.
Right.
And
So,
even
I
on your
mean,
website.
this is a real thing, people. I mean, I don't know what else I can tell you. This is a real thing. It does work.
Why do you think? I mean, just us all talking here. Why do you think people don't listen to that? I mean, we know
Well,
we
because
have
of
people out there.
what they're told, what they're reading, what their friends tell them, what the personal trainers tell them, what the orthopedic surgeon tells them, the therapist. All of that's wrong.
Yeah.
And the reason I say it's wrong is because they don't get the result. They don't treat that source of pain. So
You know what I always say, Doc.
That's
is,
not too strong of a word. I mean, a lot of things that some things I do in the past were wrong. I mean, that's how you learn.
Well, I mean, you know, it's like you're an expert in musculoskeletal injuries,
Yes.
and you're also an expert in when people come in of curing the pain that they came in with.
Yeah, that's right.
I think that's amazing, and you won't. And you know, no one could leave their office. I know Freddie sat there, and he wouldn't let you leave the office until your pain was gone, and then your pain was gone.
I was amazed because
I mean,
it just happened so quickly. I mean, it took like 15, 20 minutes, but there was no pain.
That's pretty quick.
It is quick.
Well, you've had the pain for months or years.
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 Yeah.
So what I didn't understand, and I tried to get him to
Well, there's
explain
more
to
to it than just the shot.
me. Okay.
There's the reason you give the shot is the real thing, the real deal. You have to know anatomy, physiology. You have to know physics. You have to know weight bearing. You have to know how these things are designed and used, the joints. In your case, it was the ankle. But it's the same with the knee.
Mm-hmm.
For instance, there is not a knee in the world that should be operated.
You know what? And I
They're
love-
throwing these normal knees away every day, and I think it's a tragedy. I mean, you think about it, it makes me sick.
You know what you just said? I'm telling everyone go to www.knee surgery, where they have said that almost 40% of knee surgery should not have been done.
Yeah.
And knee replacements. That's not me talking. That's someone that's actually
Well,
done the
I'm
research.
saying 100%.
Yeah.
Well, it's funny because a lot of people on other shows that we produce are now saying, well, surgery is the last thing we have to do. But a couple of months ago, they must be watching your show. A couple of months ago, it was about you need surgery. You need surgery. We got to crack you open. That's got to come out. That's got to be changed. It's amazing. They got over 140 people in a waiting room to get knee operations. You ever been to one of those places?
Oh, yeah.
I've never seen anything like that. And they all wait. And then, Doc, they write, operate this leg, don't operate this leg, because they make mistakes. I've seen it. They're operating the wrong knee.
Well, there are buzzwords that are used. The bone on bone is a buzzword. Everybody comes in my office, I have bone on bone.
There's no such thing, right?
And they're real depressed about it. Like they think they know what that means. It doesn't mean what they think it means. It means there's an inflammation in a ligament there. If you knock that down, the motion comes back and the bone on bone disappears. For instance, I always have fun with this. I'll say, well, what happened to the cartilage? I don't know, it disappeared. I said, was it in your bloodstream? What happened to it?
Where'd he go?
Did you get a stroke? I mean, is cartilage...
You got a stroke and it
I said,
disappeared.
no, it just compresses, that's all. So if you uncompress it, take away the scar tissue on that ligament structure that's affecting it, then the term is imbibe. It takes in fluid and stretches out and becomes normal.
So they remove the fluid.
No, that's not the fluid I'm talking about. The fluid I'm talking about goes in the cartilage.
Okay.
Cartilage is like your nose.
Okay.
You can compress it. It doesn't disappear. But in the knee, you see, it depends on how you do the angle of the film that you take.
Gotcha.
Now, when we treat that, we have a person lying down, and you can see a narrowing there, but not bone on bone. It's just a narrow and inflammation. So that's how we treat this knee. So we actually look at it, what we're treating, but not inside the knee. The problem is never inside the
It's
knee.
outside the knee.
It's always outside, and that's what you have to look. So when I tell people, well, your knee is normal. What do you mean? I have bone on bone. But that's the edge of it, not the inside of the knee. You understand? People got to look up, go to the library, or go online and look it up. It's
So
all
inflammation is a very powerful destructive
there.
thing.
Very powerful. And you know how big these ligaments are, Freddie?
3 inches, 2 inches?
Half inch to 1 inch, and that's all. It'll
Wow.
wreck your whole life.
And so all that pressure around it is what's causing the discomfort, it's causing the infection and all that problem?
Oh yeah, it's a inflammation of the ligament structure that was injured. That's what it is.
Amazing.
Wow.
Is that amazing?
And a lot of people, I see you talk to people that says, you had an injury in your back or
Yeah.
your spine. And she says, no, Doc, I didn't. He says, yeah, you have. Think back. And she went home and she called you. I was standing right there. She says, you know, Doc, I was a swimmer. I did. I hit the side of the wall with my back.
And
They
they don't
had to
rem-
take me out of the pool. I was up for weeks.
Yeah, the evidence is on the film.
Yeah.
So it's the bone formation is a repair process, not degeneration. You know, the terminology is really bad on this. When people say, oh, you have degenerative disc disease, that doesn't mean anything. It's a repair process on the ligament structure around the disc. The disc is toothpaste. Inside, never comes out. All the pain is due to ligament pull or compression on the annulus, which is the ligament around the bone structure. So the whole idea is wrong that they're pushing out there for that.
Well, let me just get back to this guy. Jack from Boynton Beach says, I was in a motorbike accident many years ago and was told I could never use my left leg the same way I did before. After a lot of rehab, I got the leg back to useful levels, but the pain associated with is unbearable. Can you help me get the pain out without using any drugs?
Yes, I don't know what he means by rehab. See,
they don't write me the whole thing. They just write me what's on their brain, and I answer.
See, when I was in training, rehabilitation meant the physicians.
Right.
But now it means the physical therapy.
Oh.
Which, again, what's the diagnosis? How do you treat something? Where do you treat it? And they don't have those skills.
Right.
So he's talking about he had all that treatment and he's semi-good.
Right.
Well, he should be 100%.
Exactly.
He should be there in 2 or 3 days of treatment. You don't treat forever.
So, Jack, here's what I'm going to do for you. Monday morning, call up Dr. Pinozzo, and he will answer the call himself, and he'll talk to you at 561-381-5800. And he'll pick up that call and listen to you.
You got that right. Yeah.
Right. And, I got to wait till they pick that up. We got a call coming in, but
people should try it out. I mean, you're under no obligation to complete anything, but you got to be examined first. If you want the best there is, we're offering it to you. Get examined, then we tell you what you have, what we could do for it, and then you make a decision right then and there. You could say yes or no.
Right.
If you say no, you can walk out. If you say yes, we proceed. That's the way it is.
I mean, to me, I think the quality of life is very important. I mean, to me, if you have pain, maybe it's just me, you go to where someone that could actually relieve the pain and tell you where the pain is coming from.
It's so good that they don't believe it, Les. And that's why
exactly right.
We're doing this program. You got to believe it. It's really good.
I got a question on Twitter. They said if you take anti-inflammatory, isn't it serve the same purpose that you're doing?
Yes. Except you
That's
have
the
to
part
understand.
I'm waiting for. I know the reason.
How does the medication get in there?
Exactly.
It's a very small. We described that. Very small structure. How do you get it in there? And also, why is it painful? So if you answer those two questions,
and it wears off,
which this person did not ask,
but it wears off.
Aspirin's your best drug. Aspirin.
So you're taking an anti-inflammatory. What is it really doing?
Well, it does take inflammation out, but only aspirin will do it. The others won't.
Really?
So if you take 100 years of aspirin, I'll be okay. My stomach could be gone, but I'll be okay.
Well, you got rid of the pain, but you now have ulcers. Yeah.
Well, there's very good aspirin now that dissolves quicker. Doesn't stay in your stomach like a lump.
Isn't it a bleeder aspirin?
Well, it is that that's why we take it for so the blood doesn't coagulate as fast. But it's very minimal, though. I mean, when you're talking about getting treated, you have to be treated right, or else you're going to treat forever.
But you put it right in the pain.
We don't use aspirin for structure.
No, I saw that.
We use an anti-inflammatory, which is short acting.
I told him to call on Monday, so we're going to take a break now while Dr. Pinozzo answers his phone. We will be back in 2 minutes. Thank you so much.
No, we can't answer.
Please welcome a new sponsor to the show. It's AMP2 TV, the first and only internet network that's truly plugged in. When you're looking for a full-service internet television production company, discover AMP2 TV, a full-service production company that can provide all streaming videos in studio or remotely. They offer web page development, and they use all the latest platforms to help make your business selling points more powerful. They can do remotes and live streaming, as well as tape productions. Let AMP2 TV handle all of your television production needs. Choose from a variety of creative TV and radio packages and see why AMP2 TV works with many major companies, including Comcast, Bravo, and Fox 29, as well as individuals and businesses of all types and sizes. To see samples of their work or to find out more, visit their website at amp2.tv. That's AMP2.tv. Or call them at 1-866-224-5422. That's 866-224-5422.
Pain is the body's way of telling you something is wrong. Surgery can do more harm than good. pills can become addictive. Dr. Pinozzo uses engineered concepts and weight-bearing physics to resolve this pain and get you greater range of motion. Call today to resolve all those old excuses the medical profession has given you up to now. Call 1-877-927-6969. And now, let's get back to today's show.
We are back with Dr. Pinozzo, who
Hey,
has just taken how many calls already?
Yeah, but you know something, Les? You don't tell people, this is not a pre-recorded show.
No, it's live.
This show is live. He is on the air right now. He will take phone calls. You can call the radio station, or you can call him direct, and you give him the numbers, so that you can make an appointment to see him. But this is not a pre-recorded show. It is real.
This is real. We're doing this live every Sunday. So the reason I tell you to call him on Monday is because we're on the show.
He answers during the show.
So, again, Monday, 561-381-5800. I have a sports thing about a kid here. It says, I heard your this is the father. I heard and saw your show talking about a pitcher on a team who had rotator cuff problems.
2 weeks ago, that's true.
Right. And what is rotator cuff? Is that like a real thing?
Hardly.
Okay.
Rotator cuff should be thought of as just a supraspinatus tendonitis, not as something that should be operated. And the voluminous therapy, I mean, that really is ridiculous. We treat those things in 1 to 2 days, that's all.
Oh, wow. You could change the history of baseball. Rotator cuff injury.
Well, if they would allow me to do it. The trouble is they're ingrained with this thought about this other things that they do. I mean, which is not true. I mean, if you have to be on a bench for 3 weeks with a shoulder, you got a problem with diagnosis.
Well, we got a Dolphin player that they just signed that's going to be out for 3 weeks because he got hurt in his knee.
Yeah, well, a lot of times, most times they're examined. I mean, they're hired without an examination. The owner does not know what he's getting when he hires.
That's a good point.
When he hires a player, because nobody examines for it. The traders don't know how to do that. The orthopedic surgeons don't know how to do that, and they don't have a musculoskeletal specialist like me to do it.
Well, you take a player like Carmelo Anthony, who's going to probably sign either with the Lakers or the Knicks or whatever, but you're talking about $130 million over 5 years. So that's some heavy money there, right?
Some heavy money.
This guy comes to playoffs, that shoulder that he's had for years is bad again. And they treat it the same every year, and they get the same outcome. Now, when they need him in the playoffs, he plays hurt.
Yeah,
so
well,
he's
Dwayne
never
Wade,
moved on.
same way.
He's never won a ring, and he wants other supporting cast around him. But the bottom line here is, if you keep doing the same thing wrong, Doc, you're going to have the same outcome.
Who said that?
It's called insanity.
Insanity.
I mean, this is just retarded.
No, the way we see, the surgeons have a different way of looking at it. They're looking at it as a surgical entity, something to operate on. I don't. We look at upon as a cause and effect deal. What causes the pain? What's the effect? And it's not always the same, by the way.
Right.
So you have to know a lot. Then we use the shots a lot, but they don't go inside the joint. See, there's nothing ever wrong inside the joint.
Right.
It's always outside the joint. Now see, Carmelo Anthony, he's just got a ligament there. That's all he's got. That's treatable in a minute.
And it's always put him down.
But they don't, because the trainers and the orthopedic surgeons don't know how to do it.
You're afraid to get sued.
Well, they're protected by contract. That's why you have to go to them. I mean, they can't even leave to get excellent medical care because they have a contract.
So when I see them lying on the floor and the trainers come up and he's moving that leg this way, and
yeah,
he's
you see the chiropractors moving the leg like this. I mean, the whole thing is ridiculous. I mean, there is nothing there. I mean, it's just if you know where the pain is produced from.
That's the key.
Then you can evaluate these things.
Right.
And I'm not overly criticizing them. I can prove everything I say.
So anyone out there has a challenge for Dr. Pinozzo, we can prove anything. So let me just say this. Yeah, you could call us up on the air. We're more than happy to answer your questions if you think that what Dr. Pinozzo is saying might be something not true. We accept every challenge. We have no problem.
Les.
No, we're not going to have you go out and play baseball.
I have a question for you.
Les is accepting any challenge to me.
Because it isn't him. He's not in the hot seat.
I have been there, Doc. It's not something that, I have been there. We're just information out there, folks. I've been there. I have my producer who has been there. and has have been treated. He has
I've had
sent
the
friends
procedure.
over there. We know, we've seen it. Anyone that could cure a migraine from someone who had it for 28 years, to me, is the greatest thing than God.
Well, I have a question. Stem cell is not allowed in this country, only for the heart. And some of the athletes now have gone to Germany. The quarterback from the Denver Broncos, Eli's brother, Peyton Manning.
Peyton Manning.
And he had it done in his neck. Now, you saw how sensitive his neck is. They don't know if he should play, should not play. But the bottom line is, it did work. I'm not saying that it was permanently a good...
It did? Did you say it did work?
It did work for one season. Now, it's coming out that he was in agony.
Oh, yeah.
Agony, Doc. But this
His
is a
neck-
guy who was told he should never play again because his vertebra was very delicate, and one hit and he's done.
Yeah.
Well, they fused his whole neck. I mean, you can't play
Yes.
like that. I mean, first of all, fusion should never be
He can't
done.
move his head. You know,
Well, I'm going to tell you, the guy can play because he set all sorts of records. But my question to you, comparing that kind of procedure outside this country, it did work.
It never works, and the reason is it's not stem cell deficiency that is the problem. The problem is just ligament. They just don't know how to examine for it. You understand, the examinations we do are unique to us. We figured out what it's supposed to do, and then we examine for it. Every aspect of it. So in the neck, there's 6 things to examine for.
Right.
I mean, they're just going to use an MRI. See, again, MRI has done a lot of damage all over the world.
Yeah.
Because they're not accurate. They're not read by the person who actually treats it. They're read by somebody else. They have to stop that. That's a weakness.
So let me explain what you do. You not only see and talk to the patient, you do the x-rays and you do all the stuff yourself with the patient there, so you know exactly where to find that source
the
of pain.
pain is a very personal business.
Right.
So years ago, I gave up having anybody around me.
No, you're right.
I said, I'm going to deal with this patient, and I'm going to do what I can for that person. So that means the history is better, the clinical exam's better, the procedures are better, the results are better.
Exactly, and that's the most
And,
important
and
thing.
so it works. This is the way to go. All pain clinics should be this way. You should not have 100 people being treated by therapy and water and hot packs and all that.
It doesn't
That is
work.
not going to help. It just makes money.
That's right. And this is a money-making business.
Well, you know, you're right. I mean,
Hey, I get paid too, but I get paid for results.
ah,
That's the difference.
It's a big difference.
and also, how many doctors that you know, and Freddie, you know, and everyone knows, guarantees that you will fix the pain that they came in with?
None of them.
Thank you.
I do.
Okay, I want you to say it on the air, Doc.
I guarantee that pain reduced. And we know how to do it too.
That's the
For
difference.
instance, if you told me that you did not get any benefit, I would examine you and see what you can do. Then I'd show you what the benefit was, because your range of motion would be increased. That's how we know. It's very scientific. So people call me up and say, "Oh, the shots didn't work." Baloney. They do work.
You know, it's really funny because even if you're not an athlete, if you're even a housewife, my mother in Puerto
Yeah,
Rico,
housewives, construction workers, waitresses.
I'm going to bring my mother in to meet you and have her legs looked at. Inflammation all over the place. The pains that she describes are the same things that I had. But it could be anybody. You know, Doc, it doesn't have to be an athlete. It could be somebody who can't lift their arm.
All bodies are the same, no
That's
matter
right.
how you get hurt.
That's true.
right.
You're right.
And if you don't come seeing Dr. Penosa, you're doing yourself an injustice, or you just like living in pain. That's really what it comes down to.
You know, I'm trying to figure out what's the fear of seeing. I'm trying to understand the mentality of people. There's
Too
no
good to
fear.
be true. It's too
Yeah,
good to be true.
exactly. I think
when
that's
you told me that this guy was going to take the pain out of my leg, I said, that's too good to be true. That was the first reaction I had. And people right now that I talk to, oh, I'm afraid he can maybe do more damage. How can he do more damage? He's just giving you an evaluation.
Well, about the guy that we spoke about,
man.
who now underwent 2 hip surgeries,
Yeah.
but when he was with Dr. Penosa, nobody said to me now, "Why didn't I listen to you?" He can't walk. He can't move.
It's a shame.
Yeah, he can't move. And the doctor said, "Look, they were bone on bone. It was this and that. The
Same old
MRI
bone.
showed this, and now the guy's in bed."
As far as I was concerned, he never had a hip.
No, and yeah, and he admitted. He said, "I should have listened to you." I said, "Look, you know, I could lead a horse to water. I know it's a stupid expression. I can't make the horse drink it." So that's
You know,
it.
there's a lot of young kids out there that are playing sports. I was in that field for 20 years.
Right.
And a lot of my kids got hurt. I saw broken bones. I saw a lot of hurt. And they played to make their parents happy through pain. And all of that is unnecessary. Because, and I seen you treat a 12-year-old, and you didn't give her anything except you told her some other things to do, and she came back with a different ailment 3 years later, and then you worked on her, and she is living testament, which is on Penoso.tv. You can see her being honest about what you did for her. But I wish I knew you when I was a coach.
all these ages should be available for treatment. And it's the better thing to do because it's non-surgical.
That's right.
And the therapists don't get involved. It's just patient and us. And so then we can evaluate the growth aspect also. Remember, these kids, younger ones up to 12, and are growing, not as fast as between 12 and 18, but they do grow. And they gather muscle, and you can examine for that easily enough. And you could tell the parents who should be in sports and who shouldn't. You could actually tell them that.
Well, people buy sneakers for $240, Doc, because they want their kids to grow up with the right, proper shoe.
That's
and
right.
it's an in thing,
It
but
has
the shoe
nothing
has
to
to
do
be
with
good.
it. Shoes should be cheap.
But this is my point.
$29, $39 for sneakers.
But
That's
my
all you
point
need.
is, if you're going to spend $240 for shoes, why wouldn't you take, if your son is in sports, have him checked out?
Yeah.
If everything is fine and there's no
Well,
pain,
who checks them out, Freddie? Who
well,
checks?
he goes to you know, a
it's
clinic
a nurse.
on the corner.
It's a nurse. Does the nurse have any knowledge
No,
about this?
no. She
they
tells
don't.
you cough, and you're out. That's what they do. I was a high school coach, and I took my 2 boys in to get the physical to play. And that's what she did. She said, cough. No, you don't have a hernia. Okay, you're good to go. Good to go.
Oh, yeah, I remember that.
Good to go. What is that?
I remember that. I remember that.
There's
You,
more. There's more to it, though. Scoliosis starts at
Scoliosis,
at an early
that's
age.
amazing.
I think autism is a scoliosis. Let me talk about that for a second.
Please.
So when you get delivered, if they pull on the head, you are injuring the neck. When I was trained and I was delivering babies, we had to put our finger inside and under the shoulder and drop the shoulder down and then let the baby come out. But a lot of them just pull on the neck. That's how you get neck injuries, and that's what I tie into autism, because those kids can't move their head.
Right?
Isn't that scary?
Yeah, it is scary. Yeah.
On Facebook,
But see how it all falls together when you
I
reason
agree.
it like this.
I
Yeah.
agree 100%. On Facebook, they just put something. They said a C-section on Facebook, and I saw a C-section. And he puts a coupling, that apparatus underneath, pops the head out, drags the kid out by his head.
Yeah.
I said, what are
Ooh,
you doing?
Yeah, you can't do that.
Yeah, this is all, if we did that to an adult, they'd get a neck injury. And yet they do it to these babies. And you see, it's a lack of knowledge again. They won't have to do that, but they're not aware that they shouldn't.
And all the complications.
Complications are autism.
Because if it's ever shown that that works, autism,
Yeah, it's a shame. I think this whole thing is kind of farcical because there's no treatment for it. You know, what are they treating? They're not treating the right thing. They're treating how do you think.
exactly,
Well, how you think is not
resolving the issue.
what autism is. I mean, they've never shown that.
That's tremendous. I mean, that's a
But,
tremendous statement.
Mhm.
If
Yeah,
it
it
ever
is.
came out that that's what's happening, can you imagine?
I mean,
Wow.
so in other words, autism, you're not born with autism. I mean,
No, and there's no brain evidence for it either.
really?
No.
And it makes sense because I seen my son was jerked out of his mom. I saw that. They clamped that clamper and they pulled him by his head. That's
Ooh.
why I think Freddie's a little bit cuckoo. but I could see that being, children all come out differently.
Yeah, and those are treatable things, except they're running into non-physicians who make diagnoses or neurologists who make diagnoses, and they don't treat these things.
Right.
A neurologist is a wonderful profession, but they don't do musculoskeletal treatment. You have to divorce these things and get the proper approach for your child. Or I did the research on that. 30-some kids, they all had neck pain, every one of them.
Wow. Wow.
Amazing.
It is amazing when you think about it. I mean,
But I was up against one of the big institutions.
that's a problem.
That's the problem.
That's
Yeah.
the problem. There's so much money involved and so many people in the way. Now you have a person who does not deal with this, and they're in charge of the autism program.
Right.
So what do you think you're going to get through there? Nothing.
And you're
And
just
if you
hurting
look
the
at
child.
the autism organizations, if you look at where the research money's going, it's all goes to psychiatry
Yeah.
or neurology, never to musculoskeletal. See?
Once someone has autism, can it be alleviated?
Yeah, if it's you treat the neck and it goes
Really?
away.
Is that amazing?
That's scary.
Yeah,
No,
it is
that's not
scary.
amazing.
Yeah.
That's just downright scary.
Yeah, it is.
All the money is being pumped into the research. I mean, you were involved. You introduced me.
I know. I introduced you to
that
the society. Yep.
And we did a school, Doc. I built a school out of this material. because they
Renaissance,
kept-
right? Your Renaissance
Yeah,
school,
they kept
right?
hitting their head. Like John Travolta's son hit his head in the tub and drowned.
Right.
Yeah, now why do you do that? Because the neck hurts, the head hurts. The only way you can get rid of that is to produce another pain or try to move it. Actually, that's what they're doing. They're moving the ligament structure inside. They do that. I saw one child who kept doing this and biting the arm. Okay, if you know what affects the arm in that particular place, you could tell where the problem is.
Right.
She was biting her arm right here, which is a C6 outflow, which is right in the middle of the neck.
Wow.
I
Wow,
put
wow,
my hand
wow.
there, stretch it out, and she stopped doing that.
That's amazing.
So you have to understand how to diagnose these things. It's not that easy, and I feel like producing a school somewhere. I mean,
I think we should send a letter out to a school, Les, and have the good doctor go up there.
You know,
And again,
he's only one man.
No, I understand that, but do you understand?
Yes, I do.
If the seriousness of,
Yes, I do.
I mean, he can actually stop some of that behavior.
You
To
know
do a
what?
clinic once in a while would be good. I
Yeah.
mean, I'd examine this little girl in front of all these people, and they were amazed.
I'm amazed, and I'm sitting here.
And I said, here's the reasoning process. You have to understand why are they doing what they do. They don't do it on the other side. They only do it on this side.
I think we have to do a 2-hour show, so everybody it looks like we're drawing to an end very fast
You
again.
can call him now, people. Call
Call
him now.
Call Dr. Benozzo Monday, 561-381-5800. That's
That's it.
561
Thanks, everybody.
381-5800. And again, thank you so much. We'll see you next week. Take care. Thank you, Freddie.
right,
Thank you, Linda.
This has been the Dr. Pinozzo Sports and Medicine Hour with Dr. Anthony Pinozzo. If you spend 5 minutes with Dr. Pinozzo, you'll see he genuinely enjoys helping others. Visit Dr. Pinozzo online at www.paincentersnationwide.com or call him at 561-381-5800. Dr. Pinozzo will consult with you to determine the best solution to your pain needs. 561-381-5800 is the number to call, even if it's just for a second opinion. Join Dr. Pinozzo next week when he brings you more important information on the physics of weight-bearing and engineer concepts for the body.